Hey, listen, and I said this is such a treat for me because I'm talking to two. When you think of tag team wrestling, and I'm talking about Jack and Jerry Brisco, and then Ole and Arn, Tully and Arn, and it just goes on and on. Talked a little bit, Jerry, about when you first heard of Arn Anderson or first saw or recognized Arn Anderson. Was it back in Georgia, or when did you first see the youngster Arn
Well,
Anderson?
it was actually back in Georgia, and I was watching TV one day, and I turned it on. I thought that damn oldie had impregnated somebody that I didn't know about, because when I saw Arn for the first time, man, I'm sorry, Arn, I gotta say it, you look just like your daddy Oldie, man.
Your
Just
daddy.
like your daddy Oldie.
Oh,
Just
no.
like him, man. I said, where the hell did that recreation? He brought Buzz Sawyer. Buzz was ugly. You're a handsome guy. I'm not saying Ole's handsome by far, but
Ole
man,
had to have a pretty girlfriend for Arn. That's what you're saying.
exactly. That's the reason. That's the reason I had my brother. He had to have a pretty guy standing next to him. But I was seeing the mechanics that Arn had, and we, as well as we've known each other, we never got well, who broke you and all that stuff, because we were friends, we had so much business to take care of. But who was it? Gene that broke you in, or I don't really know the story there.
You will know this guy, Gerald, that most people won't know, but you'll know immediately. There was a guy that lived outside of Atlanta who trained guys and was a hell of a worker, Ted Allen.
Oh, Ted, yeah.
You remember
yeah.
Ted?
Oh, of course, a great enhancement guy, man, and one of the best. Him, Mike Jackson, some of those guys like that, man, they're awesome guys.
Yeah, and invaluable. And he didn't take advantage of me. He didn't stretch me. He didn't beat me up. He slammed the piss out of me. My very first training.
And what kind of ring was that? What kind of ring did he have?
It was a pretty good. Everything was the equipment was good, and the way I met him was really just by chance. I was over running. I got through working out with the weights, and I went over to the high school stadium where we played high school football there in Rome. It was on a Thursday, and I was over there running, and I started to leave, and this car pulls in. The building that they ran, Georgia Championship Wrestling, was hooked right onto the stadium where we played football. So I was going to get in my car, and this guy pulls in, and he gets out of his car. And immediately I recognized him, and I went, "That's Ted Allen." And I looked up and I was, "Oh, there's the scoreboard. Okay, there's the sign. Oh, Georgia Championship Wrestling tonight." I went, "Wow, what timing!" And I went through the whole thing. "Excuse me, sir, I recognize you. Da 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 da. How would a guy like me do what you do? I've loved it since I was 8 years old." Now you could have gotten "You can't do what I do, kid. What you mean? You out of your mind?" You could have got both extremes. But the guy said, "Well, you seem like, da 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 da. You got the right attitude. If you got $500, I'll give you a tryout. I have a ring." So I went down to Cartersville and gave it a try, and just from watching it all those times, you know how it is, Gerald. I could do a hip toss and an arm drag just from watching.
Yeah.
That doesn't make light of how doing a good arm drag it really is. But it was like I was way ahead of the curve and I never had a training session, but I had the right attitude.